Yeah.
It's Armageddon. God knew that we were having a tournament today.
Dan in Twitch says it sounds like Mike is commenting for golf, like a loud whisper. All right, countdown
All
incoming here.
right. I don't know how to be any louder.
I'm
Without
just not a
yelling, and I
loud
don't
person.
know.
Practice your golf claps. How about your poetry snaps? If you like playing Twitch, you need to do your poetry snaps.
I would do a two-finger clap, but no one can hear it, so so no one would know I'm doing it.
All
And
right.
then we start going to the philosophy of if a tree falls in the woods, does anyone
Does
hear it?
anyone hear it? All right, so this is the second half of the bracket, Mud League's first inaugural tournament. We've got a TVZ here. Mike, you want to introduce the players?
Sure. My name is Tidus, not Mike. No, I'm just kidding. Not that it matters, I don't care. But on the bottom right, we have the blue Terran, Whitewolf, and in the top left corner, we have the what is it? Pink?
That is
Zerg
pink.
Nightfall.
Pink Zerg.
Um,
It's cuddly.
is that Grant's? Is that Nightfall's color, or is that just what he ended up being?
I don't know. I actually usually choose pink because I think it's the most interesting of the colors they give you. But, you know, to each their
I'm a
own, I
Orange fan,
guess.
so.
So actually, Evan and I were using our real names during the cast. I don't know that it matters,
Uh,
but anyway. Let's see, down here for Mr. White Wolf, we've got a supply depot going down on the ramp. Usually against a Zerg, he's pretty wary of any kind of shenanigans, and so we'll go for a wall off. Looks like that's the strategy there. And Nightfall, no shenanigans either, going straight econ build. He's got 13 drones at this point now.
Wow, he's I think he's. Oh no, that's a scout. I thought he was gonna go hatch first.
Yeah.
Um, turns out he is just scouting right now.
So the SCV and the drone meet in the middle, say hello. Got the Overlord crossing as well. Down here for White Wolf, as expected, the barracks is on its way. He's also got gas starting.
Let's see. Nightfall had about a 14 hatch, or sorry, 14 spawning pool.
14 pool, so he's not quite going the econ build. He's making sure he's gonna get some army up. One of White Wolf's strategies is to actually have an SCV dedicated to sweeping for proxies and the like. So that's what you see here is Evan's proxy, White Wolf's proxy sweeper, going around and chasing this drone, making sure there's not going to be a proxy hatch or something shady.
I always like to look at the APM just to see kind of what's going on with how fast the players are reacting. And if you look at the APM
Yep.
right now, they're about even, but just a second ago, Nightfall was at about 100 and White Wolf was at about 40.
Interesting. So Nightfall deciding he's going to try and take the extractor, get a little bit of extra experience in here. We've got the sheriff out shooting it down. It ought to be done here fairly shortly. Back at home for Nightfall, we've got a spawning pool. And he's got a couple of Zerglings out on the map as well. White Wolf has the bottom sensor tower, so he'll see anything coming on the bottom half of the map, but that Zergling just skirted it.
Yep, and he's got a hatchery, a second hatchery going. I don't know if you just said that. Sorry.
No, I didn't. I
missed it.
did not point out the second hatchery. It's just about done at this point. And we've got White Wolf supply blocked like a derp, because that's what we say to each other.
Derpy derpy.
He's building a factory. He's probably going to get out a couple of tanks. He likes having some tanks as artillery support for that line.
I'm a little concerned for White Wolf right now because he only has 9 workers, and he was supply blocked a second ago.
So he's only got 9 on minerals. He's got 3 in the gas. He's got SCV or mules. You have to remember the OP mules for Terran. That'll keep him. I'm sorry, it is what it is. If you look at the income tab, White Wolf's around 600 minerals, and you've got Zerg at about 800 minerals. Interestingly, Zerg is not harvesting any gas right now, so this could be some sort of timing attack.
I'm not too up to date on Zerg builds or Protoss builds, unfortunately. So I'm not really sure. Okay, actually, Nightfall just got a gas, so I think he's gonna do something.
Yep,
Coming up.
he's building his first gas. In terms of units on the field, you've got 29 drones to 20 SCVs, and there's only a couple Zerglings. You got 2 Marines and a tank, so both players going slightly more economic, not expecting any early game stuff.
Yep, and Whitewolf has a tank, so I mean, realistically, he's gonna be fine. He's not gonna really have any problems.
Nope, it's already sieged up and ready to go. He could actually probably move it up and get an extra shot in if there did happen to be an attack, but I think he likes having it farther back so that he can get a larger repair crew in on the bunker. You've got the natural for White Wolf moving out, SCV kind of meandering over. I'm sorry, SCV and command center with a Marine.
If you look at White Wolf's vision, he doesn't know that Nightfall has expanded to both the second and third expansions.
That's very true. He doesn't have much except for the sight tower at all in terms of vision. And if we look at Nightfall's vision, it's a little better, but still not great Overlord spread yet. I guess it might be a little early in the game for that. He does happen to have an Overlord sitting just off the natural, so he does know that White Wolf is expanding at this point. He does have that in his vision.
Yeah, and well, he did send in the Sacrificial Overlord. It already went in and saw what was going on, and it died.
There you go. We got White Wolf building a starport. There's starting to be a pretty big supply gap here. Most of that is in production, though. You've got 48 drones to 23 SCVs. So that's part of the fact that there's a third expand down for Nightfall at this point. It's going to be some pretty heavy economy White Wolf's going to have to fight uphill against here.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nightfall's just going to be able to kind of throw out a ton of units when the time is right, and yep. I personally think he should go pretty soon if he wants to have the advantage.
Yeah, and he's got 2 queens now working on tumor spread up at the front of the base, so if he gets a little creep highway going as well. 14 Zerglings in production. He does have metabolic boost going as well, so he'll have speed on those guys in just about 30 seconds or so. He's going 5 creep tumors at a time. He's interested in getting that creep spread going. Which, ironically, White Wolf with the sensor tower here is going to start to see. It's just now creeping into his vision, as are these 2 overlords. So he's going to know that there's a pretty good creep spread going on.
That's something that Nightfall has told me himself that he wants to work on is the creep spread.
All right, 1 Thor kind of hanging out in the middle of the map. If those Zerglings get a surround on it, I guess it's pelting him 1 at a time here. He's going to be okay. And he's got a tank to help clean it up, and he's got an SCV there ready to repair. So, well, no, the SCV is going to actually take the... It's going to get not nice things done to it at the tower. Anyway.
And then it didn't.
Going back to the unit tab, 63 drones to 25 SCVs. You've got 16 Zerglings. You got 1 Thor, 1 Viking, 2 siege tanks, and 1 Marine. So very interesting composition here. 28 Zerglings on the production tab for Nightfall. He is definitely going all in on that. Behind it, his backup tech is a Spire. He's building behind his main mineral line.
Interesting. Yeah, I think he saw the mech and decided to go the Spire route, but before that, I think he was going to do a Roach timing.
Interesting. All right, so you've got level 1 attacks and Carapace going for the Zerg player, and we've got a bunch of Zerglings coming in here. We might have a pretty big fight here. Yeah, that's not going to go well. He does have a planetary at the natural, though, so that's the AoE splash damage on that is going to wreck a lot of these Zerglings here. And the Thor falls. The Thor falls, but you know, considering there were 30 some odd Zerglings there, that wasn't terribly bad for White Wolf. He does not have he doesn't have a siege tank deployed, so that could have really helped there.
If you look at the units lost, the L tab, actually, Nightfall has lost more resources.
Yeah, but those Thors are expensive units.
Yeah, no, I mean he can't keep doing that
Yeah.
for sure. You don't want to have a Thor standing in the middle of the map because he's just gonna get harassed and killed.
Yep. So we've got Whitewolf moving into a third base down here. It's also transitioning into a planetary, which there's actually some Zerglings that might scout that. Let's see here. Nope, they're
Oh.
going to run right past it.
Oh. White Wolf is, if you look at the bottom left, he's Overlord hunting with one Valkyrie, which is a smart tactic.
Yeah, but Nightfall has over 100 extra supply, so not going to be as effective as he might have hoped. We've got
Man, he has
16 Mutalisks in production, so here's the Muta switch that we were talking about.
yeah. And also, Nightfall has expanded again 2 times to a fourth and fifth base.
Yeah, he's definitely going big macro.
I don't think he feels very threatened. I think he does. There's no pressure on him right now. He's just
Yep.
doing what he wants to do.
Mutas are out on the map. They're over by the left sensor tower at this point. They are moving. They are going to see this expand, and there's only one sensor tower there. It's going to fall. Oh, right as the SCV switch happens, too.
Oh,
That's not going to go well for those SCVs. Separately, Flyer Attack 1 is almost done. And I think Nightfall, sensing he's got the advantage here, he's got 32 Zerglings in production now. So that's going to be the ramming force here going down the natural, I think.
I was wondering why White Wolf did not have that many units, and I just realized by looking at the production tab that he has a battle cruiser. So he teched right to battle cruisers.
Which, it's funny, he gives me grief, and I told him I could recite his build order. I could have told you he was going to battle cruisers, but I wanted to let that be a surprise for the viewing audience. He loves a Thor battlecruiser composition. It actually works very well in large numbers. The issue is it's such tech heavy. It takes a little while to get up to it.
If Nightfall doesn't attack soon and stop this production, it could turn kind of bad.
It could, except for the fact he's got 5 bases and he's getting close to Facebook money with 4,500 minerals. Like the bank here, Nightfall could replace a 200 army if he had the right larva pretty effectively.
Yeah, you're right. He's not in really much danger, but
Yeah.
you don't want to risk it because also he's building Ravens, and Ravens and battle cruisers are known to be kind of the overpowered combo.
So I'm looking here, units on the map right now, 48 Lings and 17 Mutas versus a Battlecruiser, 2 Ravens, 2 Sieges, and a, let's see, and 1 Viking. So not an overwhelming army for White Wolf here at all. There is actually a spy right in front that White Wolf doesn't see.
Oh, you're right.
And it's funny because there's a missile turret right there. It ought to be detecting it, but maybe it's just outside the range. I'm not quite sure.
Well, let's look at his vision. How does it detect it? Like, is it just you see his name or?
It would actually show up as a blob on the map versus a marine.
I think it's just outside of vision.
Okay. So the final push, I think, is coming here. We missed it, but there's 14 Corruptors on the map now to take care of the Vikings and the Ravens. He's pushing straight into the main at this point with the Mutalisks.
And here comes the battle cruiser that's gonna.
It's gonna
be
fall
killed.
pretty quickly. That is a massive Zerg air army.
That Thor really destroyed a lot of those mutas.
The Thor with the splash damage on the air certainly helps. That Thor's got 5 kills on it now. I think White Wolf would be better served just to start pumping out Thors. He is actually, both factories are doubling up on Thors.
Interesting.
On the econ department, you still have 5 bases versus 2. The Mutas are going to poke in here, take out the one turret that's doing some defense here, and he's going to wreak some havoc on the middle line.
All right, let's see. Is the Spire? No, the Spire's still researching. He doesn't have a greater Spire, so he's not going to turn those Corruptors into.
Well, he's got the Hive going now, so I think that could potentially be the next step.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He's got Flyer Attacks 2 and Flyer Armor 1 going. This is a really frustrating part. If Zerg choose to go full air, the speed of the air army versus kind of these lumbering Thors makes it really hard to defend against.
Yeah, yeah.
And with the Corruptors in there, you just can't mass Vikings because the Corruptors will eat the Vikings up pretty good.
So pretty much, Thors. The thing about Thors is that they're just so slow. Like you said, I mean,
Yep.
if he has that fast air, he could just go right around it and just kill your whole base.
Yep.
There's nothing, and here he comes with everything.
Now, luckily for Whitewolf, he's got the Thors in the right position.
I wonder why Nightfall isn't sending the. He's not sending in the Zerglings. I wonder why, because he could do a lot of damage if he attacked at once.
He could. I think the two-pronged approach would actually be to send the air up through the main like he did last time, and then send the Zerglings into the natural while the Thors are kind of meandering about.
Ah, yeah. You can
But
do that.
let's see. So White Wolf at this point has actually deployed 3 of his siege tanks. So he's going to make his stand on the natural here. He's got an SCV repair crew ready to go. Here come the Zerglings as expected. Unfortunately, the air attack was not timed at all. So these guys actually cleaned that up.
I think he might have just been trying to lose those guys.
You think he just wanted the supply?
It's possible because
Yeah.
I don't think Grant is that. He has more foresight than that.
Okay.
I think he would have known to do something.
So
Something
interestingly, he's
Zerglings.
building 16 more Zerglings, though. The Greater Spire is just now
Oh.
finishing, so he does have the ability to convert those Corruptors into Broodlords. And there it
Oh,
goes.
there you
He's
go.
got 10 of them going.
And that is the hard counter to Thor's. So.
Yeah. Although the siege tanks, if deployed, could take care of some of the Locusts pretty well.
They're gonna get free kills, a lot of free kills, and if the siege tanks shoot, then they're gonna attack their own people.
That's true. That's true. And really, it's just unfair at this point. The supply advantage is over 100 to Nightfall. He's got 7,000 minerals versus 500 to White Wolf. It's inevitable at this point. The Corruptors have morphed into Broodlords.
Look at White Wolf's view. He sees the big red blob coming in, and he's
Yeah.
just probably like crap.
So White Wolf putting out some point defense drones. That certainly helps with some of the special attacks. That's the nice
Wow.
Raven comp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually zoom out for this. And
I think that's gonna be GG.
I think it's got to be. It was actually a pretty valiant attempt on that one. But there's the GG, and the first game goes to Mr. Nightfall.
Yes, it does.